The fact that they even pulled it off as fast as they did is monumental.
There's very, very little gambling when it comes to affiliate marketing.
Like, there are influencers out there that have zero influence over their audience.
I think the opportunity is there.
Double down on affiliate right now.
Kind of like a why not, no brainer.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Especially from a brand perspective.
My opinion is bullish on affiliate marketing. On today's episode of the podcast, I have Alex back, founder of Couch.com, on the show to talk about affiliate marketing. Now, I'm calling it now. Literally in 2024, affiliate marketing is going to be the top channel for a lot of D2C brands out there. And if you don't have a good affiliate program in place right now, you're going to struggle. You know, when Meta is not doing as well as it used to be, you got to look for other channels. And what's killing it right now is affiliate. The best brands in the world right now are killing it because of affiliate. But anyways, Alex and I talk about affiliate really from the publisher perspective, and he has experiences on both sides of the equation. But I thought it was a unique perspective. Alex knows a lot about affiliate, shares a lot of good stuff. We had a great conversation. So if you're looking to make affiliate a part of your 2024 marketing plan, and you should, check out the rest of the episode. Welcome to the show, Alex. Super excited to have you, man. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you for having me. Alex Back. I am the CEO and founder of Couch.com, which is a new platform that we are building to help consumers find where to buy a couch. It seems quite simple, but is strangely very difficult and challenging for people. So we're trying to solve that problem.
So anytime I see a new brand or business or site or whatever pop up with like a oneword.com domain, I have to ask, how did you get that? And how much of your soul did you have to sell?
Not too much of my soul, but just every dollar I had to my name. So it wasn't a big deal. Just my life savings. It was very pricey. And the world of single word domains is like the Wild West. It was a very interesting ride to acquire this. And I learned a lot about like investing and selling in domains. It's a whole industry that I just wasn't that aware of.
You know, if I could go back in time, I would just go buy all the single word domains and just sell them for $1 million a piece.
Every single one. Sadly, we were 25 years behind that, at least. So, but the person that I purchased it from was not, and they have benefited from their foresight.
What inspired you to start this? What's your story?
I formerly co-founded and ran an e-commerce furniture startup called Apartment2B. They're no longer a startup. It's sort of a popular online furniture brand. But initially, we started back at the time when there were very, very few furniture brands or independent furniture retailers, forget about the brand idea, online. Even some of the big box stores or large retail players like IKEA, they weren't even transacting large purchases online. Our first barrier to entry back in like 2010 when we started it was like, can we get people to put their credit card information in for $1,000 purchase? So it was very very interesting time to start an online furniture business. But essentially, we were trying to solve a problem. The problem was our friends, people living in cities, they didn't really know where to buy furniture. And we were trying to sort of bridge the gap between IKEA, everybody knows IKEA, and Crate and Barrel and Pottery Barn. It's kind of expensive for some people. So at the time, we were like, all right, well, why don't we come out with a brand that sort of lives right in between those and bridges that gap? And also offer sort of a clear place to buy furniture. Well, fast forward 13, 14 years later, there's a lot of furniture being sold online. There's a lot of competition, but still the same question remains. People that I know, even myself, like we don't really know exactly where to go to buy a couch. And it's a problem that needs solving, and it's a reason behind why it takes so long for that type of purchase for a consumer to convert. It takes weeks. not days. And that's usually because of the discomfort level that a customer experiences when buying one, because they don't really know.
This kind of reminds me of like the Wild West back in the day when digital was getting really big and I was, in diapers. But back then, you could make money online just by putting up a website and putting out some blog posts and making money off of affiliate commissions, right? That's still the case to this day, but it's a little bit different, right? In your opinion, what forms of affiliate marketing exist today, and how has that changed over the last 20 years?
It's a very dynamic part of the marketing industry. It's changing a lot. And in my former company, I was heavily involved in affiliate marketing for a number of years, sort of since it started becoming a little bit more popular and towards the forefront about 8 or 9 years ago, I would say. Um, and there are a number of different types of affiliate marketing that I think people engage in. Back in the day, it was sort of like very much overrun by coupon sites, or poachers, as I would sometimes call them from a retailer's perspective, where the retail me nots of the world and coupon follows would, they had every single brand signed up back, 8 or 9, maybe 10 years ago. Everybody sort of equated affiliate marketing with these sort of coupon or deal sites. Very low funnel conversion type type plays for them. Since then, it's evolved so much that now on the other end of it, on the very, very top of the funnel, you have almost every single content-based website or anybody that produces content even on the influencer individual level now, monetizing everything they do to make sure that they are part of the sale transaction. So you sort of like, we started on one end of the spectrum, and now it's almost more popular to have the higher funnel or top of funnel parts of the transaction monetized by these content people. And then there are different levels in between now as well.
It has changed quite a bit over the years, hasn't it? And even in the last couple of years, and even within the next couple of years, it's going to change dramatically. And really, like, since Facebook kind of got crippled by iOS, brands are looking for different ways to reach their target audience, right? And when the Facebook engine stops working as well as it used to, brands are hungry and searching for different ways to grow, right? And affiliate is one of those things that you're going to see brands doubling down on this year and for the foreseeable future. And in my opinion, affiliate is just anything that you influence someone to purchase a product, right? Like that could be publishers, that could be coupon sites, that could be Instagram and TikTok influencers. My opinion is bullish on affiliate marketing this year.
My opinion is very bullish as well. In fact, before I started Couch.com, while I was still at Apartment 2B, my former company, I was saying to everybody, like, the affiliate, and it's funny you said Wild West. I'm like, the affiliate marketing space is like the Wild West right now. Tons of opportunity. And I sort of wanted to go in that direction. And it's sort of cornerstone to my feelings about starting Couch.com, which is essentially a content site where people can go to learn about buying a couch and ultimately be connected with the couch of their dreams, or the retailer that will sell them the couch of their dreams. It's essentially more complex affiliate marketing platform. So for me, I believe it's extremely extremely on the rise, because it's a performance based marketing venue in its simplest form. It is a cash positive thing. You're paying for the performance that has already happened. There's very, very little gambling when it comes to affiliate marketing. And especially now, as everybody's budget has gotten tighter, I think, as you said, brands are seeking that, sure thing even more.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Brands have absolutely nothing to lose with exploring these affiliate partnerships other than, wasting their time, right? But you're spot on. I mean, you get the affiliate gets a cut, the brand usually gives a cut to the person that bought the product, and it's like gaining access to a new channel that's probably still more profitable than your traditional channels for new customer acquisition.
Yeah, absolutely. And depending on how you work it and which affiliates you partner with, you can sort of um, dictate your risk level. You could take an extremely conservative approach to affiliate marketing and only work with certain types of certain types of publishers that will, sort of absolutely produce results for you. You can work with some, for instance, that where you only pay a commission. There's no CPC. There's no sort of upfront cost whatsoever. And with all the technology tools that these platforms have, the CJ affiliates of the world and impacts, you're able to track sort of every single action that a customer takes. And so it really is so much more of a sure thing than it used to be.
Which I agree with. And I want to give a shout out to the Social Snowball on this. That's another great tool for anyone to check out. But yeah, you're spot on. I think a lot of it does come down to like just understanding affiliate and like who you want to work with, who's going to be a good fit for your brand, and just managing that program in a way that's like, I guess just smart. I don't know. I don't know how else to kind of put it here. Like, you need to have someone in that seat managing this program. And this is where I think a lot of brands kind of miss the point, where they think, oh, let's get some affiliates put together or some influencers, whatever you want to call them. It's all the same thing in my book. And then they stop. Like, you have to constantly be looking for new affiliate partnerships if you want to see that channel grow. But you also need to be like investing in fostering those relationships, because those relationships are really important. Like, if you can find an affiliate partner that's very in line with the values of your brand and they care about your brand as much as you do while they're making money doing it, home run. When you look at the brands that are just blowing up right now, what are they doing extremely well? It's affiliate, hands down. Probably the most effective channel at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a reason the term influencer has just rolls off the tongue these days, because quite literally an influencer is someone who influences someone to take an action or to buy a product. And I think everyone sort of like inherently become more comfortable with this concept of affiliate or influencer marketing. As a result, it's just like it's part of our culture almost now, um, where the individual it can be compensated for something that they do or something that they create.
Yeah, and I feel like influencers kind of get a bad rap a little bit. Like, people look down on them because they're an influencer, but the reality is, like, not only is it a lot of work to get to that point, but if you have that much influence on an audience and they'll just buy whatever you tell them to, like, that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of power.
Absolutely. And, in the industry that I work in the furniture space, these are high ticket items. It's very difficult to influence someone into a buying decision. So, we've seen mixed success with certain influencers, but the ones that can actually convince their customers to convert to $1,000, $2,000 purchase, that is something that deserves to be compensated. Conversely, I have personally worked with many influencers who, sort of talk a big game or want to be compensated up front and then don't deliver in the end. And I think that's part of why certain influencers get a bad rap, or just the idea. There is like sort of like an entitlement aspect to it. But the ones that really are very successful, I think, are the ones that understand that you know, that they actually do need to influence someone to take an action, not just show up to the party and talk about it.
There's a lot of talk in the industry right now over like what a fair compensation structure is for an affiliate. And of course, everyone on the brand side is pushing performance based, and everyone on the influencer side, they want to be paid up front. I think you got to find something in the middle. But to your point, Alex, like there are influencers out there that have zero influence over their audience. And let's be honest, they got to where they are because they're attractive. Don't partner with those type of influencers. Go for, you can track engagement. You can look at how much engagement they have on their content. That's going to be a very big indicator. Like if they have millions and millions of followers, but 5% of those followers are actually like engaging with their content, like that's a red flag for sure. And I don't want to just spend too much time talking about, social media influencers, because publishers like you guys also play a very big role in affiliate, right? You guys go through the hard work of getting people onto the site and providing value to them and helping them make a decision. And then, that affiliate link just kind of make sure you guys get compensated so you can keep the lights on. What does that type of partnership usually look like from your guys' side?
From a brand perspective, you want to work with the right types of affiliates. And when you find that type of affiliate, the relationships, as you mentioned before, the relationship building and management is very important. For a site like couch.com, we want to have fantastic relationships with our affiliate partners, with our retailers and advertisers, even more so than some other affiliate sites and content publishers that I have worked with in the past, because we're sort of a niche player, right? We cater to furniture brands and furniture retailers, and we're not going to then review the next best headphones coming out of the market in 2024. We're niche players, and we're sort of in this game to serve our industry specifically. So the relationships are very important and sort of more specific than our approach is more specific and strategy than some of these more general interests like a Condé Nast or a Hearst or a Wirecutter that will write about many different types of things.
I'm really interested in digging into like how you guys operate on your side, because most of the time, an interview like this or a topic like this would be me talking to an agency or brand owner, talking about how they find partnerships with sites like yours. So I'm interested in like the flip side of that. Like what can brands expect with partnering with an affiliate site like yours? And how should they approach it in a way that's going to foster a really fruitful relationship?
At couch.com, we're just sort of ramping up now, but I think modeling after successful, content publishers and affiliates in the past that I've worked with, they really do a good job of having a very sort of clearly defined cost or commission structure with minimal negotiation, but with multiple options or entry points. For instance, we'll have sort of like a base level commission, and a good content publisher in our industry should be in the 10% region, somewhere between probably 8 and 12%. Average, I would say 10% commission. These are large ticket items, but they're very low, much lower conversion rate than some of the lower ticket items, especially in the affiliate space. So you have that. And then I think, there are many other entry points. Dedicated email blasts as an example, certain banner ads and placements. So we're looking to provide entry points for a brand or a brick and mortar retailer that has a very, very low online presence. We'll meet them wherever they need to be met. And I think that's really important. But just to offer a blanketed commission percentage, that may turn off certain people and they may not want to participate. But offering other brands or retailers like a CPC alternative or just a placement alternative provides different entry points for brands, whatever their budget may be.
What can brands with high ticket items expect to pay, and what would be fair? assuming that there's, at least decent scale there, not just, one or two one-off purchases.
I'll break it down for you. So for me, in my, in my former life as a furniture marketer, running a brand, I've become fairly familiar with, the general percentages that kind of make sense, and the math for commissions that makes sense for different types of affiliates. So I'll break it down into three different types of affiliates. You have sort of the top of funnel content affiliates, the couch.coms of the world, in our industry, the apartment therapies, or even ones like a Condé Nast partner. They'll have like furniture focused brands and things like that. Those are sort of they have a lot of influence on their customers, but they're or their users. They have they're very, very top of funnel. Then you have a lot of these sort of mid funnel loyalty sites. And I think loyalty is something that every brand should participate in. I think that's something that's only going to grow. The Rakutens of the world are strangely growing even more and more. And the Capital One shopping, it's becoming such commonplace. So those are much closer to the lower part of the funnel. But then you have the fully lower funnel affiliates like the coupon sites, the Retail Me Nots and Coupon Follows of the world. And they're sort of privy to a different sort of cost structure. They do serve a purpose and a need. They help in conversion. So those sites we would generally pay, I don't know, anywhere from 1% to 3%, maybe 4% if they were running a major promotion like on a Black Friday where margin isn't as important and volume is more important. The loyalty sites, you pay a similar percentage to, but generally it'll be like a little bit higher, somewhere between 2 and 4%. And they often will, quite literally, their models are to take whatever affiliate percentage you're offering them. If that's 4%, they're going to offer the customer 2% cash back, and they're going to keep 2% for themselves.
And then up at the top, you're at like 10 to 20%, right?
Yeah, 20% for our specific industry is a little too high, because then you get into an area where you're not really going to recoup as much margin as you'd want. I don't think we had ever signed up for a 20% commission structure in my former company. I would say 15 is the highest, and that would be at like super promotional time or something specific just to kind of get people in the door. But the good thing is about content publishers, and this is something that was a huge part of my own strategy, is that sort of the higher up they are on the funnel, the lower the conversion rate is going to be. And you can sort of use that to your advantage in a way as a brand. You can agree to a higher commission percentage knowing that very few of the users that they send to you will convert within the window of time that you've agreed to pay them. And usually it's 30 to 45 days. Sometimes I've seen it be 60, but that's very rare. So just to speak in simple terms, let's say we agree to a 15% commission with a given publisher, knowing that publisher would only, convert on a few purchases that we would have to pay them out on within the 30 to 45 day payment window. But what they're doing is exposing our brand to a whole group of new users that will possibly purchase something 60 or 90 days down the road or 2 years down the road. So dangling that carrot makes some sense. Yeah.
Specifically in the furniture space where you have high ticket items, pretty long customer journeys, you would run like a pretty steep commission / promotion at top of funnel. You may lose some money on any purchases or conversions that take place during that time, but what you're getting out of it is a whole lot of brand awareness.
Exactly. And as much as I talk a big game, I never really took that big of a risk or the plunge. We've never offered a 30% commission using that strategy. But we were quite bullish about working with certain partners that demand a higher commission percentage, knowing that the brand awareness probably would pay dividends. And I think we found that in the past.
What impact do you think TikTok Shop is going to have on affiliate marketing?
I think it's going to be huge. And in fact, I just bought my I'm a big like fragrance guy. And I just bought my first bottle of fragrance, or like a cologne, because a TikTok influencer pushed me in that direction. However, I searched on the TikTok shop myself for this, and meaning I didn't click through their link, so I don't think I monetized it for them. And when I got to the TikTok shop, there were like 20 different versions of this exact same product. Like it's like a mess right now, is what I would label it. That being said, it worked, and I think the opportunity is there. I think it will evolve into a place of being a lot cleaner and um, a lot more sort of buttoned up. And I think that will attract a lot of influencers to do that.
It's rough around the edges right now, right? It's new. The fact that they even pulled it off as fast as they did is monumental, right? Because Meta's been working on this for ever, and they have not been able to successfully roll that out. TikTok was able to get it up in maybe, I don't know how long they've been working on it, like a year or two. And it's pretty crazy stuff, right? And I would bet that TikTok has something up their sleeve for attribution on there, whether it's like a view through conversion or whatever if you don't click on the link. But a lot of people in the industry believe that TikTok Shop is going to be pushing a lot of influencer slash affiliate partnerships towards more performance based. And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, but interested in your opinion on that.
It only makes sense, especially from a brand perspective. From a brand perspective, and from a publisher or influencer perspective. From a brand perspective, you know, if you have a product and you're paying an influencer to promote that product, and that product's on the TikTok shop, well, it's going to be a lot easier to track the conversion, and the relationship itself is going to. You're not going to need an intermediary like an affiliate platform to really to understand and be able to track the success of that partnership or campaign. So I think from a brand perspective, it's very, very attractive because it's kind of like a why not, no brainer. From an influencer perspective, similar. Like I think influencers are looking for more ways to get paid. That is, as you said, like a very, very hot button issue. A lot of influencers or content creators are making a lot of content, but they're not able to monetize it. So I think a lot of people are going to move in this direction, at least to try it, for sure.
I think the future is going to be super interesting with that. Brands listening in right now, like double down on affiliate right now. Seriously, it's probably the most important thing you could be spending your time on right now. And that's what I'm advising my clients to do as well. But anyways, Alex, I really appreciate you coming on the show and really enjoyed the conversation here. What would you say your secrets to scale are?
Do not put your foot on the gas until you really see a clear path on the highway. And then when you do, go for it. But just wait, just like find your lane like a running back getting the ball. You have to sort of like what Le'Veon Bell on the Pittsburgh Steelers was the best I've ever seen at this. Just wait for that lane to open, and when it does, you take the opportunity at that time.
That's good advice. I think a lot of people just like focus on scalability like a little bit too early. Like spend the proper time building up that foundation and wait for the right opportunity and make sure you have some systems in place that can actually allow you to scale, because scale can be a good or a bad thing depending on how prepared you are for it.
Absolutely. Very well said.
Well, cool, Alex. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you think the audience listening in would want to hear?
No, not unless they're looking for a couch, in which case I think they know where they're going to find their next one.
Yeah, anyone listening, you are interested at all in buying a couch, head over to couch.com. If anyone's interested in getting in touch with you directly, Alex, where should they go?
I'm an open book. I love hearing from people. I consult on the side for a number of e-commerce brands and startups. And my email is alex@couch.com, and I'd be happy to hear from any of your guests that have any questions or want to connect for any reason.
anyone listening in, we'll have all that in the show notes. If you want to check that out, reach out to Alex. But anyways, thank you again, Alex.
My pleasure. Thanks, Dan.